Wall Street winners. It is Tuesday, February the 4th, and we are still struggling with tariff turmoil now with China, who is hit back against the US with some very targeted tariffs against the US in reply to its 10% tariff across the board, claiming that it's against the law and the unilateral tariff. Breaks a number of different international trade laws. So we'll see how all of that plays out. There's talk of that throughout the US as well. For now, Canada and Mexico have been able to delay the tariffs imposed on them of 25% with basically more border security. So that's clearly one of the areas that Trump wants to see expanded upon from his neighbors to the north and south. If we take a look at the markets and the futures were way up. Well, not way up, but they were up a significant amount last night towards the end of trading in the post market. But now, as we head into the open in only 15 minutes, the Dow Jones is off a quarter of a point. The S&P 500 0.05%, so not very much, pretty much flat. And the NASDAQ is down 0.1% or 26, sorry, it's up 0.1% or 26 points. So the NASDAQ is green, but boy, there were a lot of stocks that were a lot higher. I think based on the news from Palantir last night after market close, that it blew past expectations. The VIX dropped a little, which is a bit surprising. I would have thought it would be climbing. And the crude oil is down $2.24 a barrel for March 25th futures. That is a big drop, 3% overnight there. So something's going on there that we'll have to get to the bottom of, and that could be that one of the things that China is imposing tariffs on is oil and natural gas and different elements within the distribution of those products. We look at the health and retail, and we've got Costco having a great day yesterday, which again was very surprising to me going into a new tariffed economy. They would have been hugely impacted by that and then had to obviously pass those tariff costs on to consumers or back to the manufacturers. Either way, it would probably hurt them, but they were up. Lulu was down, and yet, hearing from Lulu's CEO yesterday, I think only 2 to 3% of their products would have tariffs on them out of China because that's the amount that they manufacture there. Most of their manufacturing is done in other parts of the world, other parts of Asia, Vietnam being a big one, Sri Lanka, Philippines, other countries in that area where the tariffs are not yet being applied, but maybe there's fear that they will be applied. So seeing that drop down to 400 in the pre-market is it'll be interesting to see whether that holds as the market opens. Then we get into Dollar General, Walmart, again, both up yesterday, which is a bit of a surprise. Couche-Tard down in Canada, $1.54. That could be coming into a buy zone there. Although I am kind of leery of retail right now with the potential trade war still in the works. Home Depot was off yesterday instead of up, like say Walmart and Costco, and Nike is still just hovering in that 76 range. Then healthcare had a mixed day yesterday. For the most part, it was green or pretty close to even. Um, Transport got slammed yesterday. JB Hunt down in the 167 range. Again, they're going to take a hit if they see a decrease in goods across the border due to decreased consumption and then the need to transport those. So both of these stocks, CNR down 7.98, $8 yesterday to 143. Now they did come out with some worse than expected results recently this quarter, I think just last week, and they were down on that, but now really getting beat up on the tariff announcement. And then you get down into oil, and for the most part, oil was in the green and had a good day. Valero was up $3. Chevron ended up 15 cents, so it wasn't huge, but it was up. Exxon as well was up, call it a quarter, 26 cents, and Kinder Morgan as well. But it looks like that could turn today, and we could see, especially with the price of crude down $2.22. It's got to be expected that crude stocks fall off today. Now, I do believe we have Helmerich and Payne reporting, yep, tomorrow. So it'll be interesting to keep an eye on what this stock does coming into earnings. Then we get down into tech, and I thought we might see a bit of a recovery today. It was looking that way last night in the post market with Palantir's results, but it looks like it's going to be very, very specific, the recovery. You've still got some of the big semi producers like Texas Instruments and Applied Materials and NVIDIA all in the red today, Micron as well. Then you get into your cybersecurity firms. And CrowdStrike is in the green. Apple is down slightly. Palantir was the one that obviously took off. It's way up. That stock is crazy in terms of price right now at 103. But based on what they called untamed AI growth. So or demand. So that's what you need to use is words like that in your future forecasts, and the market loves it. CRM, Salesforce is up this morning. Palo Alto back to cybersecurity and net both up. And then Team, which had great results, it was up yesterday. It looks like it's up again this morning. Moving down into some of the bigger ones, Microsoft was down yesterday. It's come back a bit today. ARM is going to be announcing tomorrow. It is up this morning. It was off yesterday. You've got Shopify down yesterday. AMD was off yesterday. Looks like it could be back today. And then AMD, we have earnings today on AMD. So that'll be another one to keep an eye on with AMD earnings. Workday was off. It's down again to this morning in the pre-market. Lam Research just slightly off yesterday and today. It was bouncing up into the green a little, and then it fell back into the red yesterday. AVGO, Broadcom, it took a hit yesterday, but it looks as though it was looking like it was coming back in the post-market yesterday. Now it looks like it's red in the pre-market. I believe AVGO is going to come back today and get up into the 220 range as it has in the last couple of days. So that's one that I'm going to take a look at today is Broadcom and keep a very close eye on that. The others, Meta is having a strong day through a couple of days through all of this, probably less impacted by the tariffs than many of the other technology companies. Netflix as well. And then even Baba, which I thought would have done well yesterday, and they've got earnings coming out tomorrow. I thought this stock, with its recent AI announcements, would be doing much better, but I think it's just being penalized by the US market and investors because it is Chinese. And then Google's coming out with earnings after the close today, and I'm a big believer in Google. So I think that this stock is set to pop today, or it was. Now it's down, so it's floating all over the board. But I do believe that we're going to see some positive movements in Google after market close with the earnings. And then TSM was down under 200 yesterday, which is just bargain basement prices for this stock. And it looks like it's up in the pre-market, but like we just saw with Google, that could change at any minute. And we are 10 minutes out from the open. So we'll have to keep an eye on that and see what happens in those. Then we get into finance. And SoFi took a big hit yesterday. Was watching another channel that was just trading SoFi in a live broadcast. They bought it down in the, I think, low 15s, maybe even if it hit 14s into the 14s, and then they watched it come back up into the into the early morning, or call it noon session, the lunchtime session around noon. And then I don't know what happened. I stopped watching at that point, but it looked like it was making a good recovery. It's down. It's at a great price. I would be picking up some SoFi for the long term. JP Morgan, everything here you can see yesterday, pretty much except Charles Schwab was in the red. And it looks like we have a mixed bag today. I think we're still going to see these things in the red. Um, and I think they are due to pull back a little bit. I think they're overpriced. And although not immediately impacted by tariffs, all the financial services companies will be impacted if the economy goes south. That is just the reality of it. Where they will make money is if they have an investment banking side, a futures banking side, a forex banking side. All of those are probably making a ton of money right now with all of this increased volatility from the new administration. So it's a good time to be in cash and have some dry powder. and be ready to invest in good quality names when the opportunity comes up and those stocks drop significantly, but are still doing very well. So, not a stock affected by tariffs that drops, but say a stock like Meta that drops, which is very unaffected by or less affected by tariffs, has extremely strong financials, revenue, earnings, cash flow. That's when you want to get in, and then you just wait and ride that trade back up. But don't jump in 100% with any trade right now. Time your entry and be particular in buying small percentages of that stock when you acquire it on the drops, because you never know what's going on. If a president can come out and say 25% tariff starting tomorrow, he could say anything, and that's the part that makes it very, very difficult to predict. And so you want to make sure you're protected, your money's protected, and your money's making money for you, not losing your money. So good luck in your trades today. I hope you're enjoying the videos, and if you are, please hit the like and subscribe button.